with a 94th minute penalty against Wolves, while Burnley got their first 3 points on the road this season away at Arsenal. Villa make 4 changes from that Wolves game. 3 of them are enforced. Matty Cash and Douglas Luiz are suspended, while Esri Konsa is out injured. In come Ahmed El Mohammadi, Courtney Horse, Marvelous Nakamba and Anwar El Ghazi, with Jacob Ramsey dropping to the bench. Burnley's team news is very simple. They're unchanged from that Arsenal game. Kickoff coming soon. Aston Villa host Burnley at Villa Park this evening as both sides attempt to build upon very impressive 1-0 away victories at the weekend. Villa sealed the 3 points with a 94th minute penalty against Wolves, while Burnley got their first 3 points on the road this season away at Arsenal. Villa make 4 changes from that Wolves game. 3 of them are enforced. Matty Cash and Douglas Luiz are suspended, while Esri Konsa is out injured. In come Ahmed El Mohammadi, Courtney Horse, Marvelous Nakamba and Anwar El Ghazi, with Jacob Ramsey dropping to the bench. Burnley's team news is very simple. They're unchanged from that Arsenal game. Kickoff coming soon. Aston Villa host Burnley at Villa Park this evening as both sides attempt to build upon very impressive 1-0 away victories at the weekend. Villa sealed the 3 points with a 94th minute penalty against Wolves, while Burnley got their first 3 points on the road this season away at Arsenal. Villa make 4 changes from that Wolves game. 3 of them are enforced. Matty Cash and Douglas Luiz are suspended, while Esri Konsa is out injured. In come Ahmed El Mohammadi, Courtney Horse, Marvelous Nakamba and Anwar El Ghazi, with Jacob Ramsey dropping to the bench. Burnley's team news is very simple. They're unchanged from that Arsenal game. Kickoff coming soon. Aston Villa. Well, we'll just stop that one there because we are underway in this Premier League contest between Aston Villa and Burnley at Villa Park. 2 sides who, in theory at least, should arrive into this match full of confidence. Villa got a really good win against Wolverhampton Wanderers at the weekend. It was a 94th minute winner from the penalty spot, converted by Anwar El Ghazi. Nothing quite like getting a late win over one of your nearest and closest rivals. And Burnley also picked up 3 points. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's own goal caused more Arsenal troubles, but Burnley were able to capitalise. It was a good rearguard performance from Sean Dyche's Clarets to get their first 3 points in an away match this season, just their second victory of the term. So there is a lot at stake for both sides. Villa could potentially go up to 7th in the table if they can earn a win against Burnley today, while if the Clarets get their second win in a matter of days, they could go up to 16th and out of the relegation zone for the first time this season. Really, they have been in a good patch of form, Sean Dyche's men, picking up 8 points from their last 5 games, only losing once in that run. But make no mistake, this will be a difficult contest. Any side that can put 7 past Liverpool are a team worth fearing, as Bertrand Traore looks to come forward. He whips a low ball in from the right hand side. It's a sliding clearance by James Tarkowski, and then Marvelous Nakamba fouls him, and that will be a free kick. Craig Pawson is the man in the middle, and the 2 sides line up as follows. Villa have Emi Martinez in goal. It's a back 4 of Ahmed El Mohammadi, Courtney Horse, Tyrone Mings and Matt Targett. A bit of disturbance in their back line because there are 2 players suspended. Matty Cash and Esri Konsa is ill today. Douglas Luiz, the midfielder, also suspended. In midfield they have John McGinn, Marvelous Nakamba and Jack Grealish, who will play a slightly different role today because of personnel changes. It looks as though he's going to play more centrally, perhaps as a number 10 in behind Ollie Watkins, who's flanked by Bertrand Traore and Anwar El Ghazi. For Burnley, well, they very rarely make enforced changes to their side, as they have Nick Pope in goal. It's a back 4 of Matt Loughton, James Tarkowski, Ben Mee and Charlie Taylor. Robbie Brady, Ashley Westwood, Josh Brownhill and Dwight McNeil are the midfield 4, with Chris Wood and Jay Rodriguez up front. It is John McGinn who has the ball. Villa playing in their traditional claret and blue, of course. Burnley obviously can't play in those colours, so they've got their yellow shirts and claret shorts on. Their away kit. Villa going from left to right, Burnley right to left. Around about 3 minutes into the game, no chances yet. Sean Dyche already barking out the instructions. He's someone that is very restless on the touchline. Both these sides prior to the contest were paying tribute to former Villa manager Gerard Houllier, who sadly passed away at the age of 73 this week. As Villa come forward, Grealish unleashes a shot. There's too many bodies in front of him. Will it drop to Watkins? He gets a strike away, but again, Burnley are there to block it. It's probably been a better start for Villa than it has for Burnley. They're claiming that they should have a corner kick, and indeed they get one. Matt Loughton getting in the way, a former Aston Villa player, no less, as the ball was tossed in towards the back post, and Loughton just caught slightly by the run of Anwar El Ghazi, was able to get behind him, and El Ghazi headed it onto the Burnley man. Corner is awarded. It's going to be McGinn to take it. He's just waiting for Tyrone Mings and Courtney Horst to get up into the box. Just waiting Greg Pawson to blow the whistle. Now McGinn curls it in, headed away only as far as the edge of the area, where Bertrand Traore unleashes a powerful strike, but it goes harmlessly over the bar. But it's been a confident, commanding start from Aston Villa. They're looking to get shots away. Grealish with that curling effort, which took a block, and looking at the reverse angle from that replay, wasn't as far wide as I initially thought. Traore, it was kind of arcing back towards goal. It would have been a bit further out. It may have hit the target, but then again, you'd probably expect Nick Pope to make the save. Good chance this for Bertrand Traore to get a run of games since his summer move from Lyon. He does have experience of English football. He spent a few years at Chelsea in his younger days, so it's not totally alien to him, but yet to really get going since making that move during the summer. Sean Dyche's already looking at his watch, which is quite an ominous sign from an away manager coming into this sort of game. Villa looking to press Burnley as Pope clears the ball up towards Rodriguez, who flicks it on. I think he and Wood just got in each other's way slightly, and Villa come away with the ball. Nakamba plays it across the target on the far side. Marauding left back. Now Grealish. Grealish wanted too much time, but the ball will drop for McGinn. McGinn is then upended, and Villa will have a free kick just on the edge of the centre circle. They wait for bodies to get slightly further forward, but as you'd expect, the free kick taken short. Target now curls it forward, looking for Grealish, who tries to take it inside Loughton, and then Grealish slides in to win the ball, but Pawson believes that it was a little bit too aggressive, his challenge. Loughton still down on the deck. It did look as though Grealish got the ball first, and he did, and it's one of those challenges where you look at it and you think the referee really shouldn't be blowing up, particularly as his studs weren't really up. He won the ball very well, Grealish, and has been harshly dealt with. Really scarce. More of an onus on players not getting seriously injured in those challenges, where as recently as I suppose 10-15 years ago they'd have been allowed absolutely fine, particularly with the advent of VAR, where anything can be looked back upon. Burnley now in possession. They play it along to Ben Mee. Mee forward to McNeil. It's a heavy touch, and Villa take the ball back off him. Just wants a bit too much time in possession though, and Villa are forced to clear it long, but Watkins will latch onto it. Here comes Ollie Watkins now, right side of the box. He's going to try and square it to a teammate. It'll come back to Watkins. Narrow angle. Watkins tries to dink it to the back post, where Grealish was lurking, trying to pounce and get another goal, but it went over his head. Watkins did really well initially. The ball came back to him at a fair rate of knots, and he controlled it very well, and only had a small amount of space to operate in before lifting the ball towards that back stick. Villa come forward again, but Brady gets a toe in to take the ball out for a throw. Aston Villa will be happy with the way they've begun this game. Burnley have barely got into the Villa half, it seems. No shots at goal, nothing for Martinez to do thus far. 8 minutes into the game. Independent off-tube studio commentary. Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Sheffield United against Manchester United coming up on this service at 8 o'clock as well. Here is El Ghazi. Turns it back into the box, and it'll take a deflection off Matt Loughton, and Villa will have another corner. It's going to be the same man, John McGinn, over at that side to take it. And in fact, Grealish wants it. He takes it short to McGinn instead. Now Grealish. El Ghazi tries to bulldoze his way through two Burnley defenders. He wants too much space, and it goes out for a goal kick. Dean Smith was under a lot of scrutiny last season, and very much publicised how much money Aston Villa spent in the summer transfer window, and when they weren't getting results, they spent another wedge in January. Most of those signings didn't really pay off, but I think it's safe to say that the players he's brought in this season have been a real hit so far. The likes of Matty Cash, who's not playing today. He picked up his 5th yellow card of the season against Wolves, and thus is suspended because of an accumulation of those bookings, but he's been a very good signing, as is Ollie Watkins. Villa finally, it seems, solving that problem of the number 9 position. Here is Al Mohammadi, who tries to play it forward. It takes a big deflection, and Mings is there to tidy up. Just hooks it away out for a throw-in, which Burnley will have on this near side. Midway into the Villa half, Charlie Taylor just waiting for a ball to come his way before he can take it. Played back to Taylor. Traore tries to muscle him off the ball. I think he was fouled, but Burnley are able to come forward on the advantage. McNeil's low cross is cleared by Mings. That was a very dangerous ball from Burnley's Dwight McNeil. First real piece of attacking intent we've seen from Burnley so far. Villa are able to clear it down the other end. Pope's going to punt the ball forward now, up towards Chris Wood, but that's strong defending from Tyrone Mings. And then Matt Targett can just lay it back to Emi Martinez. Forward again to Mings, who just about clears it in time. Brady was chasing him down. There's a nice flow and tempo to this game. Here comes Watkins. He's got his opposite number 11, McNeil, for company, as well as Taylor. He goes out for a Villa throw, which Watkins will take quickly. Back to El Mohammadi. Pirouettes away from Dwight McNeil. Now inside for Traore. Traore feeds it infield to Marvellous Nakamba. That's not a marvellous ball from him, but it's a marvellous challenge to win it back. Forward to Watkins. Here is Grealish. Over to El Ghazi, playing in the Grealish role, so to speak. Grealish went on the overlap, but there was no one in the middle to gobble up that low ball that he put into the box. And still Villa come forward. Excellent turn from El Ghazi. El Ghazi's going to shoot. Burnley are claiming that came off Tyrone Mings, who made a run forward, and I think they've got the decision. It will be a goal kick. It's been an energetic start to this Premier League contest between Aston Villa and Burnley. It's still goalless, but Villa will be really pleased with the way that they've started the game. Some nice link-up play. Obviously, Jack Grealish is at the centre of it, but the likes of Ollie Watkins and Bertrand Traore have shown some nice touches so far. Grealish had a strike which took a big deflection off Ben Mee in the box, and then from a resulting corner, Bertrand Traore shot over the bar. Burnley haven't really shown enough in attack so far. They've had one dangerous cross sent into the area by Dwight McNeil, but it was well cleared by Tyrone Mings. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. This is the start of a very busy schedule of football, exacerbated by the coronavirus pandemic. Although you'd say maybe in some regards that Villa are probably going to be best equipped to deal with it, because before play today, they've played the fewest number of Premier League matches this season. A game against Newcastle a couple of weeks ago was postponed because of the coronavirus outbreak at St James's Park, and then they didn't play on the opening day of the season because both the Manchester clubs were given special dispensation to start their season late because of their late runs in Europe at the end of the campaign. They only had a couple of weeks to get fit and firing for pre-season. So Villa probably won't be as leggy as some of the other teams, but they will have to make up for lost time at some point during the season. So Make no mistake, they're going to be playing twice a week from now until May, you would feel. Going to be a throw-in now for Burnley as Loughton launches it forward. It's flipped on by Rodriguez, but Villa are able to clear it forward, and it's an awkward one to deal with for Tarkowski. He just about gets his body in the way of the ball. Watkins was snapping around trying to win possession back. Throw in now for Burnley, just a little bit further down the touchline in front of the dugouts. Loughton takes it, but it's won by Matt Targett, former Southampton man. Courtney Horse getting involved as well. It's a rare outing for the former Wolves defender, with Esri Konsa and Tyrone Mings the first choice central defensive partnership. Horse hasn't played too much because very rarely you see centre-backs rotated from game to game or then being replaced during matches, unless it's for an injury reason. I've got Bjorn Engels on the bench as well, another centre-back who's been frozen out really because of the impressive form of Konsa and Mings. Brownhill, now Loughton. A really high ball played to the edge of the area, and Traore deals with it of sorts. Quite unorthodox the way that he just booted the ball high up in the air. It will fall for Burnley and Ben Mee. Charlie Taylor just hobbled away from a challenge there with Traore, but I think he's okay. Just one of those slight impacts on the foot. He's miscontrolled that though, and it will be a throw-in for Aston Villa, just on the halfway line on the near side. Al Mohammadi waiting to take it. Craig Pawson signalling for something. Not sure what all that's about, but Villa do get the game back going. McGinn challenged by Westwood, and now Westwood can play to this near side where Rodriguez has drifted out to the channel. McNeil's on the overlap, and he'll play it to Dwight McNeil, and that's another threatening ball in, and another good solid header away from Tyrone Mings. Danger not over yet. McGinn just gets there ahead of Rodriguez on the edge of his own box, and Horse will smash it forward. There's no question that in the last few minutes Burnley have begun to get back into this game after Villa made the better start of the two sides. Still awaiting the opening goal. 16 minutes gone. Off cheap studio commentary. Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. As the ball is played forward, and it's quite an inaccurate ball to El Ghazi, who was the Villa hero on Saturday against Wolves. 94th minute penalty. A controversial one awarded as well. It was another one of those VAR decisions which are becoming increasingly more commonplace in football. For its rights or wrongs, we're going to have to learn to live with it. Horse heads it away. Throw in now for Burnley, trying to just gain some forward momentum. See their players are just edging forward yard by yard. Villa backpedaling slightly. Throw-in's taken flat towards that corner flag where Rodriguez now plays the ball backwards. Brady looks to whip it in. Headed away by Mings, in the right place at the right time for a third time in the game as Burnley send balls into the area. Very much an old-fashioned side, Burnley. I'm sure Sean Dyche probably won't see it as a compliment, but they're hard to break down. They're resolute in their 4-4-2 formation. A rare manager who still plays with two centre forwards. Most modern managers have been conditioned to play with one and try and dominate the game in midfield, but Dyche certainly sees merit in playing both Wood and Rodriguez as they are today. He's got Ashley Barnes on the bench as well. Matej Vidra is another option. Something slightly different as the check forward. Villa have a free kick just on the edge of the centre circle. Grealish stood over it. And he's going to leave it for John McGinn. Again, I don't think this is going to be sent long into the box. Villa are shaping up. Maybe it could be, but it's not. Here is Mings. El Ghazi slipped and tried to reverse it to the edge of the D, but Burnley get there first, and this is a good run from Dwight McNeil. Hopping, skipping and jumping away from challenges. Plays it across now. It's then pulled back to the edge of the area. Curled towards goal. And that goes wide from Ashley Westwood. Looking to come and try and haunt his former club. Nice sweeping move forward. Dwight McNeil at the centre of it. It was played to Rodriguez. He turned it back. He saw that Westwood was running to the edge of the box. He was just trying to guide it towards that far corner because Martinez was rooted to his spot. Sean Dyche applauding the effort on the touchline. All started from the enterprising play of Dwight McNeil, a player who's been catching the eye, if reports are to be believed, or if they were to have been believed back in the summer. Juventus were looking at him. I'm not entirely convinced he's ready for that level yet, but it's certainly a big compliment for a player who has a very promising future in the game. Down the other end, Villa have a throw-in. Watkins wants to take it quickly. There's a real sense of urgency about Aston Villa. Here is Grealish, just looking to shape and shimmy away from challengers. One of the best in the division at doing that. Now the ball is played into the area. High cross, which is dealt with by Nick Pope. No time wasting from him. Launches the ball forward, seeking out Chris Wood or Rodriguez. Wood's been a bit quiet so far. Not been in great goal-scoring form this season, Chris Wood. Did get the winner against West Brom a couple of weeks ago. That was Burnley's first win of the campaign, and they have managed to kick-start their season from that. Tarkowski. Back to Pope, who again goes for the route one. Headed on by Horse. That's a slight nick off Chris Wood, and Villa have to throw. Actually, a free kick's been awarded. Wood was adjudged to have pushed his man. Here is target now. Grealish receives it on the half turn. Got El Ghazi out wide and he feeds the ball to him. Watkins is making a run into the middle. El Ghazi running at Tarkowski. El Ghazi's ball, he's going to come all the way to Traore. Heroic last-ditch challenge from Charlie Taylor. That has surely denied Villa a first goal. Traore must have thought he was going to get himself on the score sheet, but Burnley were able to get back. They're one of the best teams in the league at defending and scrapping for their lives like that. And now they could get them on the sucker punch as they have the ball inside the Villa half. Here is Rodriguez. Lay off to Brady. Wood in the middle. That's a wonderful save. As he headed it towards goal, Emi Martinez, athletic goalkeeping, got down to his right-hand side. It was an awkward height for him as well. Well, this game has suddenly sparked into life. Burnley coming forward. It was played to Rodriguez, curled into the box. It was with the right foot of Brady. I imagine that Villa maybe would have felt like he would have taken it onto his left. That was just before El Ghazi played it into the box. Came through a crowd of bodies. But Traore took the touch. Maybe could have struck it first time, who knows, but all you can say is that you should compliment the Burnley defending rather than the Villa finishing. I think it may have been Brownhill actually that put the ball into the box rather than Robbie Brady with the right foot. Here come Villa forward again. Powerful strike towards goal. It hits the stanchion behind the goal from El Ghazi. Just played to him. Marvellous Nakamba. Westwood tried to make a challenge, but Ghazi was able to evade that. The game that's certainly hotting up now. Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0, midway in the first half, but both sides have just had great chances to open the scoring. First of all, Villa coming forward down the left. Grealish fed the ball through to Anwar El Ghazi, who ran at James Tarkowski. He looked to play a low cross towards the back post. It came through a couple of bodies. It fell to Bertrand Traore, who took one touch to steady himself, struck the ball towards goal, but it was a brilliant block from Charlie Taylor. And then down the other end, the ball was played by Rodriguez to Brownhill on the right side. He crossed it into the area for Wood to head towards goal, forcing a wonderful stop from Emi Martinez. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa will have a throw-in, which they won while I was speaking just then. Another 3 rounds of Premier League fixtures before the new year for both these sides, and then there's one kind of in the immediate aftermath. So 4 Premier League games apiece before the FA Cup third round, which you don't like to see it, but the competition has been devalued to a point that both Aston Villa and Burnley might regard it as a distraction. They'll see it as a bit of respite from the rough and tumble of the Premier League campaign. Of course, Villa got to the final a few years ago, where they were thumped 4-0 by Arsenal. Burnley play it forward. And Rodriguez has kept himself on side. Rodriguez tries to deliver. Martinez comes and claims it. I did think he strayed offside as the ball was played to him. Very tight looking at the replay. It's definitely one of those where trigonometry would have been out in force from Stockley Park. But nothing became of it, so it's a moot point. Here is target. Now El Ghazi. Back for Grealish. Grealish operating a deeper role. That's a lovely pick out of Watkins. Forced to run towards the corner flag, but it brings Villa further forward. Now El Ghazi, few step overs. Back to Grealish, he'll shoot. Another long range strike, another deflection, and Burnley just can't quite prevent the corner. Taylor stretched and did his best to try and stop the set piece, but it's been given. Traore's come across and it looks as though he's the one that's going to take it. Just over 26 minutes gone. Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Tyrone Mings and Courtney Horse both fancying their chances. Mings in particular, he's a centre-back who does score goals from these positions, as corner's actually taken short. Back to Traore. Gets away from McNeil's challenge. Still he's going. Bertrand Traore tries to sneak it into the gap at that near post. But Pope had it covered. He's a wily goalkeeper. It's unlikely to see him beaten from that sort of range. Scuffed effort from Traore. Took all the power out of it. Bold now to Ben Mee. Here's Taylor. Wanted a bit too much time. Traore trying to come in and make the challenge. Back up on his feet, and Burnley will get another go from the throw. Headed on by El Mohammadi. Taylor whips it back to Matt Loughton. It's a long clearance forward, and I think there was a handball in there from Jay Rodriguez as the ball appeared to break his way. Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0 is the scoreline. Sheffield United against Manchester United coming up at 8 o'clock. Huge match. Chris Wilder, even at this relatively fetal stage of the season, I'd almost say that Sheffield United need to get the 3 points, otherwise they're going to be cast so far adrift that their season will be over before the new year. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Old Trafford. He's a man who's under pressure, particularly in the midst of their Champions League knockout. Nakamba. Now Grealish looking to link up with El Ghazi. Loughton clears it, only as far as Grealish. Good run. Now Grealish lays it off to El Mohammadi. I thought he was going to shoot first time, but took a touch. Plays it to Watkins on the right side. Back to El Mohammadi, searching for the back post. And it's left, smartly so, by Matt Loughton. As El Mohammadi wanted to try and pose some real danger from that cross. Puts in more crosses than most, Ahmed El Mohammadi. He used to be a winger and then he was converted into a fullback. He's been in English football a good number of years now. He was a perennial Steve Bruce signing. Brought him to Sunderland, Hull and eventually Villa, where he is now the second choice right back. Pope clears on the goal kick up towards Rodriguez, who wins the header this time. Little drop for Tyrone Mings. Lays it back off to Emi Martinez, who ended last season as Arsenal's first choice goalkeeper, so maybe a few eyebrows were raised when Mikel Arteta decided to allow him to leave Arsenal for Aston Villa. He's 28 now. He's been Arsenal's third choice keeper for a lot of years. Finally been given a chance as a regular in the Premier League with Villa. Here's El Ghazi. Just about keeps it in, lifts it towards Traore, it bounces over his head. El Mohammadi's going to shoot, and it took a deflection which was cleared off the line. I think it was Loughton that got there. Burnley looking to get forward on the counter. Nakamba shoots, the whistle had already gone. Great work from El Ghazi. Went over Traore's head, and then it was a thumping half volley from El Mohammadi. They have actually come off the arm of Watkins, unwittingly so. And it was cleared off the line by Loughton. Pinball inside the Burnley box. Will take the free kick for Burnley, which is about 10 yards outside his own box. Looks to drill it to the far side, but that's very easy for Target to deal with. Here's Nakamba, one of those signings that Villa made in the last summer transfer window at the start of last season. Not been a regular in the side. Douglas Luiz is the man who's got the regular starting berth in that defensive midfield position. And as he went down under the challenge of Robbie Brady, and that's a terrible challenge looking at the replay. I wonder if VAR might have a look at that. Brady's been shown a yellow card by Craig Pawson. Tries to just grab the ball, sticks his foot out, and it kind of rakes Nakamba's ankle. Well, the game hasn't got going yet. Craig Pawson has been given details from Stockley Park. He might go over and have a look at the monitor. And for all of VAR's rights or wrongs, well, the decision's been given, no red card. And I think Robbie Brady is very fortunate. There's no malice in it, but it was a poor challenge on Nakamba. But nothing of the ball and everything of the man. But Burnley still with 11 men on the field. Villa play the ball down the near channel for McGinn. McGinn twisting and turning, crosses it in. Will it drop for Bertrand Traore? Traore touches it back to McGinn on this near side. Now El Mohammadi crosses, and it was an attempt at a back heel from Grealish towards goal. Jumping mid-air to try and just get any connection on the ball to take it towards goal. Nice innovative effort from Jack Grealish. Player who divides opinion. Player who's been in trouble this week for all the wrong reasons. He'll be hoping to do his talking on the field. .3.5 minutes gone. Burnley just trying to take the sting out of the game somewhat. They can get to half-time with the scoreline goalless. They can reset in the 15 minutes they'll have in the dressing room and go from there. Horse clears. And he heads it on for Pope, who's been drawn outside of his box. Pope clears. Up to Wood now. Whistle goes and Villa will have a free kick. Just looking again at the replay of that challenge. The more you look at it, the more it's one of those wincing-juicing challenges. Could have been a serious injury for Nakamba. But Brady might class himself as fortunate to still be on. Another free kick, becoming scrappy and gritty as this game. Here is Mings. Mings rolls it back to Martinez, just on the edge of his own box. McGinn searching for a ball out wide, looking for Grealish. Burnley intercept, but don't do a great deal with the ball themselves. Back now with Tyrone Mings. Now here is Martinez. Villa start from the top. Grealish. Ghazi headed it on to him. Grealish looking to run at Burnley. He's then brought down around about 25 yards out by me. No booking awarded, and I'm just a bit surprised that Craig Pawson didn't go to his pocket. So hard to predict which way he's going to go when he's running with the ball at pace. And he just stuck a leg out and accepted that free kick's probably a better result than Grealish potentially going forward and having the chance to shoot. Ghazi stood over the ball where the free kick's going to be taken. Grealish and Traore's the left foot option. Grealish has walked away, so it's going to be one of two. Probably suits the right footer more, but in some sense that might be why Traore takes it, to try and catch out Burnley. Promising position for Aston Villa. Looks as though Brady's making up part of the wall. Ghazi really fancies this one. Ghazi will step up and he hits the crossbar. Well, there's a reason why Anwar El Ghazi eyed up that free kick. It's because he thought he was going to score. Wondering if Nick Pope maybe got a slight touch to it. Have a look from the reverse angle on the replay. He did. And he may have prevented that one from dropping in. A corner's been awarded. It's a great save from Pope. And now Villa. Have to try in the air. Mings will. Out defensively, and Villa have survived what could have been a very costly counter-attack. Heading towards half-time, it's still Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa have come very close to taking the lead. A free kick was awarded when Jack Grealish was brought down by Ben Mee on the edge of the box. Anwar El Ghazi stepped up, and via a slight touch from Nick Pope. His free kick hit the crossbar. From the resulting corner, Burnley were able to counter-attack. Another great run from Dwight McNeil. He was just thwarted at the last second by Bertrand Traore, who ran back and cleared it. Burnley have also picked up a yellow card. Robbie Brady with a very poor challenge on Marvellous Nakamba, one where his studs raked the back of his ankle. VAR had a look at it, decided it wasn't a red card. He seems like it was very lucky that Brady wasn't sent off. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Burnley buoyed by that counter-attack. They're suddenly looking a bit more sprightly in attack. Here they come through midfield. McNeil has drifted across into the centre and he was just clipped by Nakamba. Now Burnley have a free kick in their own promising position. 5 minutes to go until the break. I wonder if they'll go even closer than Villa to scoring. Any closer and it probably will be a goal. Martinez has made one good save already. Will he make another? You know what Robbie Brady can do from set pieces. Not too dissimilar from the Villa free kick. Maybe a yard or two further out, and it's on the opposite side, so Brady will probably be the favoured option. Brownhill is there. McNeil is the third man who could take it. It looks as though it's going to be one of Brady or Brownhill. Again, referee just making sure that everyone's set to take it, and they require 10 yards further back. Brady deal with not quite far enough into the corner to cause any real problems for the Villa keeper. Shot on target for Burnley. Martinez clears. Looking long for Watkins. Game of head tennis now. Finally brought down by Burnley. Little drop now for John McGinn. Burnley have a free kick. Not sure what that was awarded for, but it's taken. Well, it's going to be taken in the centre circle. Villa just trying to delay Burnley's taking of this set piece. And we've got 3.5 minutes to go until half time. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. It's not been drab like the scoreline may suggest, with some of the connotations regarding the two teams. There have been chances. Ball lifted up into the box and it's again dealt with by Villa. Not enough bite from Burnley, not enough punch in attack. Big clearance, and it's controlled well by Grealish. Grealish finds Watkins. Watkins, can he get into a shooting position? He can. He maybe should have looked for a teammate instead. Just couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet. It stopped his strike at goal having any power on it, and it was simple for Nick Pope. Villa come forward again, looking to try and get the noses in front before half-time. Here is El Ghazi. Now Target. Here's Jack Grealish. Grealish rolls it to McGinn. Just about has the legs to get there. McGinn has to play it back to Nakamba, who in turn finds El Mohammadi on this near side. Forward to Traore. Traore will buy the corner. That's a decent enough result for him. He always wants to get it onto his left, playing on the right side. So when he didn't have the room to do that, he decided to just play it off McGinn instead. McNeil, should I say. Burnley with some more defending to do. Two balls on the field momentarily, so one of them will have to be booted off, which it has been. Traore takes straight into the box, comes to the back post, and the post has been hit again, this time by Courtney Hawes, which flicked onto the centre-back, reacted really quickly, just trying to see who it came off, whether it was a Villa player or a Burnley player. I think it may have been El Mohammadi who glanced it onto Hawes. Corner's going to be taken on the opposite side as Burnley attempted to clear. El Ghazi standing over it this time, taking a fair few short corners, but I think Villa might throw this one into the box, try and cause some mayhem. In fact, it's driven towards the edge of the area where Grealish is going to shoot on the volley, a la Paul Scholes all those years ago, but without the same result because Burnley were able to block it. Here's Grealish. He's brought down, and the free kick is awarded as the advantage couldn't be played. Grealish drove that effort towards goal. I think it was going off target, so Burnley needed to be careful not to divert it back on target. Traore to take. Burnley was 6 in a line just inside the box, on the edge of the D is. Traore takes, he's looking for a run at the near post, it's headed back towards him. Traore with another bite of the cherry, rolls it back to El Mohammadi. It's a high looping delivery towards the back stick, and it's headed towards goal by Courtney Hawes. 1 minute of additional time awarded. Pope clears it long and look to try and find Robbie Brady, who's attempting to get there ahead of Nakamba. Doesn't quite. Nakamba rolls it forward. Here is Grealish, just tearing past Brownhill, but then runs into traffic in the form of Tarkowski. It's brought down by him. Free kick awarded. Tarkowski not happy, neither is Sean Dyche. Tetchy end to this first half at Villa Park, where the scoreline is Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Probably have time for this free kick to be taken, and then that will be that. Strong run forward by Grealish. Got away from Brownhill. Not sure what Tarkowski did wrong. He did stop Grealish, but he certainly got the ball first before the man. One or two suspect decisions from the officials today. Traore takes the free kick. Taylor will head it behind for a corner. Will we have time to take it? No, we won't. Half time is the verdict in what's been an entertaining game so far. Villa have hit the woodwork twice. Burnley has seen Chris Wood's header well saved by Emi Martinez. At half time it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar, Courtney Hawes heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. For Burnley, Chris Wood's header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar, Courtney Hawes heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. For Burnley, Chris Wood's header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice. Anwar El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. The Burnley Chris Woods header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. For Burnley, Chris Wood's header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. The woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. For Burnley, Chris Wood's header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. For Burnley, Chris Wood's header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. For Burnley, Chris Wood's header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. For Burnley, Chris Wood's header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. For Burnley, Chris Wood's header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. For Burnley, Chris Wood's header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped onto the crossbar. Courtney Horse heading a corner kick onto the post. Bertrand Traore also had a close range effort, well blocked by Charlie Taylor. For Burnley, Chris Wood's header was well saved by Emi Martinez. Maybe they should be down to 10 men as well. Robbie Brady getting a yellow card for a studs up challenge on Marvellous Nakamba. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. At the break, it's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Villa should be in front. They've rattled the woodwork twice, and where El Ghazi's free kick tipped. Well, we're just about to get back underway for the second half of this independent off-tube studio commentary from the Premier League. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0, a game that has had chances, 0-0, not exactly reflective of the state of play. Villa had 16 attempts in that first half, 62% possession, but were denied by the woodwork on 2 occasions. They also saw Bertrand Traore's close range effort denied by a brilliant block from Charlie Taylor. But Burnley have had a couple of half opportunities themselves. Ashley Westwood's curling shot went wide off the far post, while Chris Wood's header, that's their best opportunity of the game thus far, was very well saved by Emi Martinez. So it's still a finely poised game for the second 45. No changes in personnel. Villa line up with Martinez in goal, and then they have El Mohammadi, Horse Mings, Target, McGinn, Nakamba, Grealish, Traore, Watkins and El Ghazi. Burnley line up with Pope, Loughton, Tarkowski, Mee, Taylor, Brady, who's picked up the game's only yellow card, Westwood, Brownhill, McNeil, Wood and Rodriguez. Burnley in their yellow shirts and burgundy shorts. They're going from left to right in this second half. Villa, claret and blue, going from right to left as Burnley now have the throw-in with Matt Loughton midway inside his own half. Too many occasions Burnley gave away free kicks, gave away position, just allowed possession, should I say, just allowed Villa to get at them. They'll need to be a bit tighter in this second half. Here is El Mohammadi, had to deal with a uncomfortable bounce of the ball then. He's able to play it back towards his goalkeeper Martinez, who himself had to deal with an awkward bounce from El Mohammadi's back pass. It went straight up in the air, but Villa come away with possession. Here is Bertrand Traore now, who had a decent game in that first half. He's not had the greatest impact at Aston Villa since making the summer move, but he looked lively in the opening 45, denied, as I mentioned a few moments ago, by Charlie Taylor. Here is Brady now. Brady looking to try and curl one to the back post. It's cleared by Courtney Horse. Comes out now to Brownhill. And here is Taylor. Taylor across to McNeil. Now Josh Brownhill, former Preston and Bristol City midfielder. It's a very poor diagonal ball, but El Ghazi's control lets him down. It's going to drop for Westwood. Westwood tried to deliver it into the path of Wood. Villa come away with the ball. It's played long up towards Watkins, who's drifted out to this near left-hand side. Watkins will battle to try and win it off Tarkowski. He just shepherds the ball out of play, and it will be a Villa throw-in. And Watkins takes it himself, back to Target. Mings down the channel for Watkins again. Watkins looking to combine on the 1-2 with Grealish, but way too much on it from Grealish's layoff, and it'll go behind for a Burnley throw instead. As it stands, Burnley in the Premier League table. At this point would lift them out of the relegation zone, and they do have a game in hand on Fulham as well. Burnley would be on 10 points, Fulham on 9, West Brom on 7. They've just appointed Sam Allardyce as their new manager, and then Sheffield United way adrift on just 1 point at the bottom. It's tight in the mid-table battle as well, but the results as it stands would keep Villa 11th on 19 points from 11 games. They're only 4 points off the top 5 with 2 games in hand, so still a lot at stake for Villa. I don't think qualifying for Europe will be on their agenda at any point this season, but they've got something to aim at, because it seems as though most of the clubs at the top are content with taking points off one another. Liverpool won the league by such a dominant margin last year, but if we're looking at average points per game, we could be getting one of the lowest points totals to win a Premier League season, despite Liverpool's late 2-1 victory against Tottenham last night. Here is Rodriguez. Rolls it back now to Loughton. Now Tarkowski has to be careful. He's just dragged to the ground by Watkins, but really Cruyff turned his way into trouble. Tarkowski takes the free kick. He's going to deliver it wide to McNeil. Excellent touch from Dwight McNeil, and he's going to run at El Mohammadi. Gets into a crossing position, whips it to the back post, and it's headed on by Rodriguez onto Robbie Brady it was, who headed it onto target. And I don't know if he's been denied a corner kick. It looked like a stone wall corner as Brady leapt up. And I think the corner has been awarded, and rightly so as well. But once more, Dwight McNeil showing what a menace he can be. Burnley didn't have a single corner in that first half. It's only taken them 5 minutes of the second in order to register one. It's going to be McNeil to take it on this near side. In swinging, whipped delivery incoming. McNeil's ball in, and it drops at the back post, and McGinn has to clear it behind for a second corner. Although I think the whistle may have gone. Martinez looks to have been clattered Wood jumped up and impeded the Villa keeper. McGinn wasn't to know, he had to react and do something with the ball, which was coming his way. So a bit of respite now for Aston Villa as Emi Martinez is planning this goal kick. He's going to chip it wide looking for Traore. It's over his head and nodded back in field by Taylor. Here is Brownhill. Back to Ben Mee. For Brownhill. Brownhill shows too much of it to Grealish. Grealish coming forward. He's got Traore to his right. He pokes the ball through to him. Traore crosses. And it's not quite going to drop for Watkins. Head in hands moment for Dean Smith. Quite literally as the camera panned to him. A low delivery by Bertrand Traore. He was looking for Watkins. I actually think he may have strayed into an offside position. The corner comes in. Cleared by Burnley. Is there another counter-attack? No, there isn't, because El Mohammedi's won the ball. He crosses it in, headed towards goal. And Watkins is thwarted by the goalkeeper Pope. But like the first half, Villa doing more of the attacking. Not a bad header actually by Watkins. Just didn't get enough power onto it. Did look to glance it towards that far corner. And to generate the power himself. Westwood. He loses out now. And it's played across to Anwar El Ghazi. Grealish. Grealish looking to stand up. He plays the ball across to John McGinn. Not the best touch. It goes out for a Villa throw. He holds his hand up in apology because it was a nice pick out from Jack Grealish. Throw in to come. So Mohammedi fancy taking this one long. Now he's going to go short instead. Grealish is having his shirt pulled. Surely that's a free kick, and indeed it's been given. Don't really know what Brownhill's complaining about. He's got that aura about him, Jack Grealish, that few players have for sides outside the top six. He does get special attention from all other opposition managers. And why wouldn't they? Because he is a very special talent who is producing on a more consistent basis. That was what you could level at him last season. He'd be brilliant one game and then not really do anything the next. Grealish's free kick is sent towards the back post. It's headed out of play by Loughton, but the whistle goes yet again. Villa frustrated in their attempts to break the deadlock. Early stages of the second half, it's still Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Dean Smith just instructing Grealish to arc the free kicks a bit more rather than send them straight towards the goalkeeper. Early stages of the second half, it's still Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Similar pattern really to that of the first half. Villa doing more of the attacking pressing and Burnley just holding on at trying to defend. Villa broke forward when Grealish was running towards the box. He played it out to Bertrand Traore, who tried to fire a low ball into Ollie Watkins, but it was cleared, and then just a minute later a ball was sent in by Ahmed El Mohammedi to Watkins, who was free in the box. He had to generate the power on the header himself as he looked to glance it towards the near corner, but it was easily saved by Nick Pope. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Cleared now by El Mohammedi. Grealish collects, he lays it back to marvellous Nakamba. Now Traore looking to skip around Charlie Taylor. And brought down. No booking awarded. Wasted free kick by Villa. They only come away with possession, but it's given away in a really dangerous area by Robbie Brady. El Ghazi's going to shoot, and he curls it wide. Well, Robbie Brady will be breathing a sigh of relief as Anwar El Ghazi misfires. No idea what Brady was trying to do as he passed the ball back. El Ghazi attempted to use me to curl the ball round. It just didn't have enough curl coming back towards goal. Looking for his second in 2 games, El Ghazi. Traore heads on. Burnley clear it as far as Tyrone Mings. Mings will swivel and boot the ball out of play with his right foot. Burnley get the throw. 12 minutes into the second half. Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Independent off-tube studio commentary. Again cleared away, this time by Nakamba. Burnley look to push Villa backwards, swing the pendulum their way. Taylor searching for an option, he gets one in Westwood. And that's a real waste. Westwood's touch lets him down. Sean Dyche looking up. I'm sure he'll be contemplating substitutions. He missed it today. The Premier League voted against introducing 5 substitutions for games for the rest of the season going ahead. Many believe that if that rule was brought in, it would unfairly benefit the top clubs who have a deeper talent resource to pull from. Both these sides do have capable players on the bench. You'd probably look and say Burnley's bench is a little bit stronger in terms of players that can come on and maybe make an impact. Ashley Barnes, who's a nuisance up front whenever he gets given the opportunity. Matic Vidra is a talent as well. Looking at Villa's bench, you'd maybe pick out Conor Hourihane, come on and add a bit of bite in midfield. Keenan Davis and Jacob Ramsey, 2 youngsters as well. Ramsey did play against Wolves at the weekend. Of the 4 changes, he's the only one that was dropped from the starting 11 by choice. Cash and Louise are suspended. Every concert is ill, but it's not been pointed out whether he's ill with coronavirus or with something else. Here come Villa now attacking down the left. Grealish rolls it back for El Ghazi to shoot. Tried a low effort towards Nick Pope. And where the ball bounces and skids along the ground. Not quite enough purchase on it. Solid keeping from Nick Pope, who will be hoping, if he has a good enough season, he'll force his way into the starting 11 for Gareth Southgate's England squad. I don't think there's any question that he will be going as one of the 3 goalkeepers, but it's likely he'll be second choice at this stage behind Jordan Pickford, who was dropped from Everton's lineup last night in favour of Robin Olsen. Olsen kept a clean sheet, so you might suspect he'll keep his place for the weekend ahead. Here comes McGinn running forward and just clips the heels of Taylor. And on the hour mark, Villa are halted in their attempts to go forward and get their first goal of the game. Get the first goal of the game, I should say. Sean Dyche just in conversation with Ian Wone, one of his assistants, Clarets. Spent 8 years in the job now as Dyche. I do wonder how much he's got left in the tank in terms of what Burnley can achieve as Rodriguez fires one towards goal. That's Burnley's only chance really of the second half. It was a half chance as well. Powerful effort, struck well over in the end. despite the fact Burnley started the season poor, there was never any question over Sean Dyche's job. He's earned too much respect to be spoken about in those disposable terms. Enemy clears as Villa trying to get forward, only as far as Traore. Here is McGinn. Villa looking to play a little bit quicker now, and then Grealish plays it out to El Ghazi. Another shooting chance for him, and this time it will be a corner. It took a deflection off Loughton, who's had to do a lot of defending this evening. Can Villa break the deadlock? If they come away with anything less than 3 points, I think Dean Smith will be disappointed. They've shown plenty going forward. Grealish has been at the forefront of it, but El Ghazi's had a good game too. Traore to take the corner. And I think he wanted to take it short to McGinn, but McNeil was too close to the ball, so we'll get another chance. I suspect this one might be sent in long. The love train being formed inside the Burnley box as Traore plays the corner looking for the back post. Mings will just allow that one to sail over his head and go for another corner as Mee headed it away. Grealish feints to take the corner and then does whip it in towards the near post and flicked behind by Ahmed El Mohammadi. I think he knew straight away as soon as he made contact that it wasn't going on target. So what do Villa do now? Do they look to make changes? Well, Burnley are going to make the first change. Ashley Barnes is getting warmed up and ready to come on. I imagine it would be for Rodriguez rather than Wood, even though Rodriguez has probably been a bit livelier. Wood is the proper focal point up there for the Burnley attack. They're coming forward now, Burnley. Bit of space for Brady. Pulls it back onto his left. And I think he went for the shot rather than the cross. It was well saved by Emi Martinez. He bowls it out quickly to McGinn. Traore looking to link up with Watkins. It's a loose ball from Bertrand Traore. And Burnley can play it back. No nonsense clearance from Pope. He hammers that forward. And it will be a Villa throw-in. Midway inside their own half. I think that change is probably going to come before it's taken. And it is Rodriguez who's going off. Had that one shot just a few moments ago, but other than that, nothing really from him in terms of goalmouth action. He's looked lively. He's a player who certainly doesn't mind drifting into the channels and being the second of the two strikers, if you like. Now Ashley Barnes is on, and Burnley have got two definite target men up there now. The aerial balls might be coming thicker and faster. First touch by Barnes is to chest it and then try and hook it over for Wood to run on. And gets too much pace on it. Here's Mings. Target flips it into the middle. Burnley struggling to clear the lines. It drops for McGinn. Now here's El Mohammadi over on the far side, midway inside the Burnley half. McGinn looks to angle a ball into the box, but it's well gathered by Nick Pope. Long clearance. Flicked away by Mings. It's going to drop now for Barnes. Barnes goes down. No foul. McGinn tells him to get up, and now Grealish is coming forward. Skips away from Loughton. Here comes Jack Grealish. Grealish with the reverse ball to El Ghazi, who fluffs his lines yet again. He's had so many chances, Anwar El Ghazi. That's another one. That's a lot more gilt-edged. He just needed to guide it towards the far corner, almost pass it in, because the weight of the ball was very good. Almost at the midpoint of this second half, and still we've yet to see the ball in the back of the net. There's a sense that it's coming though. Here is El Mohammadi. Back to Traore now. Cross to El Mohammadi. His ball into the box is cleared vertically. Burnley can come away with it now. Barnes presents it straight back to Villa. Grealish still somehow holds on to the ball, and his attempt at a cross is deflected into the side netting. Villa just not going away. Burnley clinging on by their fingernails to this 0-0 scoreline. More defensive heroics from Charlie Taylor. Traore swings it in, and it's nodded over by Tyrone Mings. Positive at least that he got there first. The second half, and Aston Villa are surely coming close to breaking the deadlock. Anwar El Ghazi has had two opportunities, the first of which I suppose was only a half chance. It was a curler wide from the edge of the box, but the second one was a brilliant chance. More great play from Jack Grealish, skipping away from two Burnley challengers. He then played a reverse disguised ball to El Ghazi. All he had to do was pass it into the back of the net towards the far corner, but he scuffed his shot and it was gathered by Nick Pope. Burnley are just holding on at the moment. Jay Rodriguez had a long shot which went over the bar. They've made the first change. Rodriguez was the one that went off, to be replaced by Ashley Barnes. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Burnley have a free kick. Just as I was talking then, it's about 40 yards out, so Westwood, with that driven technique that he likes, he's probably going to stand it up to the back post. Chris Wood has been feeding off scraps so far, and hoping that a good ball comes his way. Westwood takes, it's charged down by the nearest man to him in Traore. Westwood will get another go. Stands it up, it's going to fall for Robbie Brady. Shifts it onto his left, it's a poor cross. Target clears. Up towards Grealish, who hammers it down the channel, looking for Watkins to run onto it. Puts far too much on the ball. And now Pope will clear. It's touched back to him by Tarkowski. Target with another clearance. Well gathered by Grealish. Rolls it back to Mings. Barnes is looking to chase Martinez. Has to hurry up, and he does. Over to Traore. Over his head, but not over Taylor's. He flicks it on. Out for a Villa throw. Around 20 minutes to go. What Villa don't want to do is get caught on the sucker punch. Caught by Burnley on the counter. They're more than capable of doing that. And they could do now, because Nakamba's given possession away. Here is Ashley Westwood. Back to me. Now with Charlie Taylor. Spins away from the oncoming challenge of Bertrand Traore, but gets it back from Brownhill on the 1-2. Taylor with a long ball down the channel. Horse has to come out and clear it for a throw, which is going to be taken perpendicular to the edge of the area. No hurry from Burnley though. A point for them will be regarded as a good result. Point takes them out the bottom three, so that's probably what Sean Dyche is thinking. Here is Tarkowski. Ball was played back to him. Long pass is cleared. Traore first time just boots it forward to the far side, looking for El Ghazi to run onto it. Not the best ball. Burnley going direct. And they win a free kick. Barnes brought down by Mings. Villa players scampering back. You know they'll have some defending to do. It's going to be again Ashley Westwood, and he'll certainly be hoping for better than his last free kick effort, which was cannon straight into the path of Bertrand Traoré. Westwood delivers. It's headed on, headed downwards. Not exactly cleared, and then on the swivel. Then Mings shot straight at the goalkeeper. Would have been a rare goal for him. Bit of indecision between Mings and McGinn allowed me to get the strike away. Villa attack down the other end now. Here is Grealish. El Mohammadi hugging the touchline. Back to Grealish. Who seems to have a lot more freedom playing in that central role. It might convince Dean Smith to maybe tinker his formation. Oh, that's a really poor clearance by Martinez. Burnley with a chance. It's 3-on-3 all of a sudden. That's really strong recovery play from Courtney Horse, bailing out his goalkeeper. Just got nothing on the clearance. Now McGinn punts it forward. It's a good ball to Grealish, but an uncharacteristically poor touch. Allows me to get across, and he clears it into row Z. Well, Martinez cleared the ball forward. It just hit Nakamba, and suddenly Burnley had a chance to break forward, but Villa, in their desperation to win the ball back, did win the ball back. And now they have a chance themselves. Here is El Mohammadi with the throw. Gets it back from McGinn. Spooned up into the air from El Mohammadi, and again it's catching practice for Nick Pope. Dean Smith still pondering whether to make his first change. Here comes Anwar El Ghazi, still going El Ghazi. And it's the same result as it has been on a number of occasions. He hasn't found the target despite early promise. Grealish's layoff. 4 Burnley players around him, but he was able to skip into space. Ball was just rolling too quickly and couldn't keep it down. Dean Smith in conversation with his coaching staff. John Terry is of course there. For how much longer? He has been linked with the vacant hot seat at Derby, although Wayne Rooney now 6 games unbeaten at the helm. We suspect he'll be offered the job first. Taylor down the channel. Barnes has kept himself onside. No, he hasn't. The flag did go up late, which is one of those directives given to linesmen these days, not to put the flag up until the attack is pretty much over, which is pretty silly, really. Mings. Ball forward to El Ghazi. Heads it into Nakamba's path. Now McGinn. Traoré. Nice nutmeg on Dwight McNeil. But the ball is played back inside as a poor one. McGinn. Forward now to El Ghazi. Running out the Burnley defence. Here is Grealish. Grealish coming forward. Hits the side netting. They are huffing and puffing are Aston Villa. Grealish looking to be the goal scorer rather than the creator this time. Wonder what the future holds for him. He loves this club dearly, but you've got to ask what his ambitions are in football. Does he want to be going and winning trophies? Is he likely to do that at Villa? Probably not. I don't think January would be the time, but at the end of this season, might have to think about leaving. Manchester United have been linked, but how good a move would that be at this stage? Here is McGinn. Now Nakamba, back to McGinn. Spots target in space. Villa have had 24 efforts at goal. Only 7 have been on target. Watkins feeds it inside now to El Ghazi. El Ghazi attempts to get into space. Burnley get too many bodies around him. It's played forward now to Barnes. Barnes drops it back for Brady. Taylor. Toe poke back to me. Now Tarkowski. Pope punts it forward. Again, it's going to drop to a Villa player. Grealish goes down. He's brought down by Taylor. Free kick given. It's just a clear clip on his heels as Villa take the free kick quickly. Traore shoots. And again, Burnley get in the way. Here is El Ghazi. Targets ball in. Good goalkeeping from Pope in the right place at the right time. Well, the free kick was fed into the path of Grealish. He rolled it across for Bertrand Traore. So much space opened up. And that's because Burnley were back defending very deep. And it proved to be the right call. They made the block. I think I just saw at the corner of my eye that Burnley preparing a second change. Still yet to see Villa delve into their substitutes. They only do have a throw-in deep inside the Villa half, but Villa are going to make a change. Looks as though Keenan Davis is about to come on. Definitely did see a yellow shirt on the sideline for Burnley, so second change might be inevitable for them. Cross played in. And then there's a bit of a clash of heads between Traore and Josh Brownhill. Free kick awarded to Burnley. Plenty of promise. Change is going to be made first. Not often you see teams making substitutions when they're defending a set piece, but Villa, by the looks of it, are going to make the substitution. It's going to be Traore to come off. And it is Keenan Davis who's replaced him. Just adds a little bit more height and a bit more physicality to the Villa attack now. More of a natural centre forward than a wide player, so might lead to a slight tinkering with the formation. Could bring Watkins out further wide. Burnley send the ball in. It's going to drop for Watkins and just about clears it. One of those horrible ones where the ball bounced to him and didn't want to take too many risks. Villa come forward on the counter. Here is Watkins. Challenged by Brady, and the Burnley man comes away with the ball. And then it's launched forward by Nick Pope. Into the final 10 minutes of the game at Villa Park. It's still Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0, and it looks as though Villa are going to be made to pay for their spurned opportunities. Jack Grealish, who's been the creator for Aston Villa throughout the contest, looked to turn goal scorer, but his effort hit the side netting. Villa have made their first change, bringing on Keenan Davis for Bertrand Traore, and Burnley have just made their second, Matej Vidra replacing Chris Wood. It's Aston Villa 0, Burnley 0. Different approach this for Burnley. Matej Vidra is not a big strapping centre forward. If anything, he's a number 10 who will play in that forward position. A lovely technique. He's never really established himself since moving to Burnley from Derby a few years ago now. Almost joined Leeds when Marcelo Bielsa took over in his first summer, but opted for Burnley instead when it was made clear the move to Leeds probably wasn't going to happen. Watkins juggling with the ball nicely. He's then brought down. Free kick given. I must say Craig Pawson has been very reticent when it comes to dishing out yellow cards, but Burnley have given away an enormous number of free kicks now. I think there would be an accumulation of fouls. Me trying to hook the ball away, nearly caught Watkins in the face, classed as a high foot. I think Watkins may have drawn a little bit of blood. He's got the tissue around his nose as he jogs off. Villa have a free kick, but they don't have their star centre forward on to attack it. Can they take advantage nonetheless with less than 7 minutes to go? Grealish stands over the ball. It's a very poor delivery, but it's going to come back to him. Has to retreat backwards. Grealish plays it back out wide now for El Mohammadi. And here is Watkins, who's allowed back on. Well, I think the referee didn't like the way that Watkins came on and then straight away got involved in that attack. He's been shown a yellow card as well, Ollie Watkins, for unsporting play, I'm assuming. Don't think a change of shirts required. Piece of tissue will be stuffed up Watkins' nose. It's one of those that brings a bit of water to the eyes. He might feel the need to sneeze. Two Villa physios adorned with their protective equipment. Of course, we are still playing football largely in empty stadiums. Aston Villa in Birmingham is a tier 3 area, so no fans in attendance at Villa Park. Still a sad sight, but one that largely we're used to now. And that's the reason why we're having kickoffs at 6 o'clock UK time on a Monday. All games getting televised. Burnley attempted to get forward again with Barnes. You suspect that if there is going to be a goal, it's going to be Villa's way. Burnley don't look as though they've got too many ideas in terms of creativity. That prediction could come back to haunt me, could come to haunt Aston Villa, who, let's be frank, should be ahead. Here is Loughton. Forward to Watkins, miscontrolled by the Villa forward. Burnley rushing forward themselves now. Here is Brady. He's got 3 Villa players around him. He's done very well. He's earned the free kick on this near side. Watkins getting back and making the challenge. He's suddenly got to be very careful, Ollie Watkins, after picking up that yellow card. McNeil and Westwood stood over this delivery. McNeil with the left foot, Westwood with the right. On the near side, so maybe McNeil would be better placed to play a dangerous ball, and it is going to be McNeil to take it. Puts far too much on it, and Martinez will just allow it to float out for a goal kick. Sean Dyche doing his best to try and gee up the troops. And it's probably going to be geeing up the troops to get the draw. Villa coming forward again. McGinn, nice ball through the middle for El Ghazi. And then Grealish was brought down, and Burnley are furious with the decision. Ben Mee with another foul on Jack Grealish. He's been tasked with marking him all game. It was a slightly late challenge on the Villa creator. Could they potentially win it from this free kick? It's on the cusp really of being a little bit too far out to shoot, and Grealish rolls it short instead. Lifted in by El Mohammadi and nodded wide by Mings. Tyrone Mings with another great chance for Villa. He was totally free as well. It's not the easiest of headers, should I say. Around about 14 yards out, just behind the penalty spot. Got the right amount of power on it. Maybe had it been a yard inside, he could have glanced it into the far corner, but the chance is gone, and now Villa have some defending to do, which they do well. Again, a succession of headers before it's brought down. Grealish now feeds it forward for Watkins. Grealish is running around him. Watkins still in charge of the ball. He needs to find a teammate, but he's not going to, because 5 Burnley players swamped him. It's lumped forward. Mings then plays it off Vidra, and it will be a Villa throw-in. Here is Grealish. Skips past Loughton. Still going, Jack Grealish! And he drives it over the bar. Did the initial part so well. Left Loughton behind, left Tarkowski behind. But a rush of blood at the crucial moment. I think maybe Pope would have had it covered had it been on target. One more chance, Dean Smith is urging on the touchline. Got 15 seconds of the 90 remaining. I don't suppose we're going to get a huge amount of added time because we haven't had the full complement of substitutes. Burnley have made 2, Villa have only made 1. Here is Grealish, the ball comes to him. He's got Davis wide, plays it forward for Keenan Davis, who tried to cross it, but that turned into a cross-come shot. And goes behind, just 2 minutes added on, which is not something you see too often. Normally it's at the very least 3. And Aston Villa rue these missed opportunities. As Burnley the rest of this game. Off will come Robbie Brady. There might be some debate after full time whether he should have been sent. Was it a yellow card? Was it a red card? I think an orange card probably would have been suffice if that was something we had in football. Peters, who is a utility man in all senses, he can play anywhere On either flank, he's played left back, left midfield, right back and right midfield. He is primarily a left back, but he's just going to slot in, I think, on that right where Brady was. For the final few seconds of the game, Pope clears. Side-footed forward by Mings and then hoisted up into the air by Loughton. Free kick for Burnley. You'd imagine Villa have probably lost their last chance. Can Burnley achieve the mother of all smash and grab victories? Just waiting for the ball to come back to where the free kick is to be taken. Burnley seemingly no interest in scoring. They're happy to just wind down the clock. Westwood stands over the ball, trying to frustrate the Villa players. Westwood lifts it in towards that far post. It's cleared by Nakamba. And come all the way back to Charlie Taylor. Rolled down the channel now, and that is that for full time. Well, Villa will certainly see this as 2 points dropped. They've had several chances throughout the game to win it. Anwar El Ghazi hitting the crutting, Mings glancing a header wide. But Burnley were resolute, as they so often are. They're now out of the drop zone. Villa are 11th still. It's finished. Aston Villa 0,